All right, so this is a suggestion via a channel member. Let's go ahead and jump into this immediately. Guys, the title is Wild. All right, we're here for it.
When I got home from work on Friday, my wife asked me what I did at work. And I told her I brokered an international arms deal between the President of the United States and the President of Ukraine. It sounded a little out there, so I showed her this clip.
Okay.
The United States has Tomahawks and other missiles, very strong missiles, but they can have our thousands of drones.
So you're suggesting kind of a trade. If President Trump okays Tomahawk missiles to help you launch...
Yes, it's about Russia, military goals. It's only about military goals.
Right, but then you would authorize some kind of an exchange where...
Yes, of course.
The US
yes, we have proposition. Yeah, we have big proposition with our drones.
President Trump, I don't mean to be brokering an arms deal here, but is that something that you would be interested in, Ukrainian drones?
We are, yeah, we would.
Okay. Yeah, listen, bro, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't believe you at all when you said it. I thought that you were just like speaking in jest, but apparently, yeah, he kind of did here, guys, slightly. But we have a couple of issues here. Tomahawks, for the most part, for us are a finite resource. Let's just say this here. We are absolutely depleting our stockpiles in ways that are absolutely abysmal. Okay, so if we start passing them over to the Ukraine specifically in trade for drones, what's going to happen if, like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, what's going to happen if we need them, right? I think that's my big question for now, at least.
Senator Jim Banks joins us now. Senator, what do you think about that deal, Tomahawks for drones?
I mean, if it's a deal that helps America and puts it's in America's interest and helps Ukraine at the same time, I'll defer to the president. But what Zelensky said as well, that President Trump is the only one who can negotiate a deal to bring peace to Ukraine to end the war. At the same time, you have Putin saying that the war never would have started if Donald Trump was president in the first place. It feels like President Trump is making large gains here, and if things like this could get us closer to that, to something that brings peace in Ukraine, I give Donald Trump a lot of credit for it.
And, Senator, what should we make about Putin's plans to end the war when President Trump does not commit to a transfer of Tomahawks and then Putin just goes and bombs Ukraine again?
Well, President Trump isn't saying no to sending the Tomahawks, but President Trump understands that we have to replenish our own stockpiles. We've sent $67 billion of weapons to Ukraine already, and in many cases at the expense of not just American tax dollars, but depleting necessary weapons and resources that America might need in a fight of our own. So President Trump isn't saying no to the Tomahawks, but at the same time, Peter, he's leveraging the Tomahawks. He's spoken directly to Putin about if Putin says, no, don't send the Tomahawks, and President Trump is saying, I will if you don't keep up your end of the deal. So
he won't,
President Trump is as I already said, he's the only one that can negotiate something to bring lasting peace and end the war in Ukraine, and he's well on his way to doing that. Contrast that with Joe Biden, who couldn't negotiate anything between these two countries, and the fact that this war never would have happened if Donald Trump was the president to begin with. We're making gains. I trust President Trump. He's doing what's necessary to end the war. It's going to take some time, but he's well on his way.
Yeah, guys, here's a problem, guys. Like, Putin's main job, it seems at least, is to like sow dissent. And that's kind of the vibe I get from every single time we see any type of like footage between Donald Trump speaking to Putin or listening to Putin speak in the first place here, guys. It just doesn't feel like what he said there was like the legitimate reason, let's say here, guys. It just doesn't feel like that. Every single deal that's basically made with Putin ends up falling through. He doesn't care to kind of hold up his side of the bargain here. He only is in the interest for self, and I highly doubt that he's in the interest of his country, right? It just seems like a for self type of thing. So if we were to actually come up with some type of terms where Putin would start to kind of pull back from the Ukraine in some meaningful manner, will he even like maintain that as like an actual deal? Based off of the track record, guys, I don't believe nothing he says. I mean, I get it, bro. Ex-KGB operative. I understand. Cloak and dagger. Right? But listen, it would be great if it could stop tomorrow. And I mean that to the depths of me here. But what are the chances of Putin actually being a man of his word? It was 0, guys.
President Trump talked to Zelensky on Friday. Just about every time that happens, Putin phones first with some kind of a let's make a deal talk. This time, he apparently pitched a 70-mile-long Trump-Putin U.S. to Russia rail tunnel built by Elon Musk that the Kremlin claims could be done in 8 years for $8 billion. Listen here.
This came up yesterday, a tunnel from Russia to Alaska. That's an interesting. What do you think of that, Mr. President? Do you have any ideas? How do you like that idea?
I'm not happy with this.
I don't think you're going to like it. I don't think you liked it.
Yeah, so Zelensky didn't think that's a good idea. What do you think, Senator? Russia to Alaska tunnel?
Peter, it sounds like it seems like far-fetched, but maybe it's something that is possible. I don't know. I'll defer to President Trump, and I'm sure there's a reason that he's raising that prospect. Again, he's several steps ahead in these negotiations of both sides. He's trying to leverage one and the other to find something that can bring lasting peace and end the war. And I'm sure that this is one thing that's a part of those negotiations. I'll defer to President Trump.
We are going to play now the soundbite of the week. It came from the White House when President Trump took a question about the president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro.
All right, so this is the title.
He doesn't want to f around with the United States.
And Senator Banks, you can see there we have the ability to bleep.
Thank
is he
you.
right?
Yes, he's right, bro.
He's 100% right. President Trump understands that peace through strength
paying attention?
It lies in exactly that. Don't mess with the United States of America. Whether we're talking about Hamas or whether we're talking about peace in Ukraine, look no further than what happened in Iran. Remember, President Trump was completely underestimated when it came to Iran and threatening them to end their nuclear program. They didn't do it, so he bombed them. He set back the nuclear program in Iran and devastated that program. And that's what Venezuela, Maduro, and all of the terrorists in South America need to understand in Central and South America, that if you send to the United States of America and kill Americans, then you are at war with us, and you will pay a price. And that's why I totally back what President Trump is trying to do, taking out runners on submarines or all of the cartels at the southern border. Do whatever it takes. Declare war on them. Don't let them get away with it. And he's put Maduro on notice that that's exactly what we're going to do to him as well.
And to your point there, off the coast of Venezuela, the Department of War has moved the Night Stalkers in. That is the unit famous for flying top secret missions like the one to kill bin Laden.
Ghosts
Are we getting
also
closer to putting boots on the ground in Venezuela?
I don't think so, Peter. I mean, we've used the Reaper drones. We're using units like this to take out terrorist trafficking into the United States. And I find that Hoosiers completely agree with and support that mission. We've seen the devastating effects. We've had more Americans die of overdoses in the last year than in the entire war in Vietnam. And that's what we need to remember here, that President Trump is putting them on notice. This isn't Joe Biden and the weak administration that we had before that turned a complete blind eye to what they were doing to kill Americans with trafficking. The Trump administration is going to hold them accountable for it. And we've already seen big examples of that, and there are going to be a lot more. And put Maduro, who is a terrorist, trafficking hub in and of himself, we're going to put him on notice and let him know that that he will be held directly responsible and accountable if these activities continue.
Yeah, bro, I've been saying this, right? And I mean this here, guys. Like, I get it. There are some people who are going to be like, listen, Maduro is like an elected official. He's truthfully elected by the people. He's not, right? But that's not the point I'm making here. The point is that there are some people who absolutely love him. Right. Don't get me wrong here. There's still people in Spain who love Franco. Right. Like, there are people who love these type of people. Why do they love him? I don't know. There's some people who love the supreme leader of Iran. I don't understand. Right. Other than the fact that you're probably scared for your life to say you don't love him. You get what I mean here? And that's kind of the vibe. I do definitely think that there's going to have to be some type of action taken in Venezuela, specifically if all of these like organizations, are running things directly to the United States of America, and they're actually like affecting us in a meaningful manner, to the point where this guy here just said there are more people that have basically expired than I guess expired in Vietnam. That is a crazy thing that he just said there, is right. And where is it coming from? It's coming from our adversaries, and Venezuela is definitely one of these hostile, let's say, government type states, let's say, that deal very deeply with our adversaries. Okay. So we need to definitely take heed to that immediately, guys. All right. But yeah, guys, Venezuela has no ability to basically defend itself in any serious manner by themselves from the United States of America if the United States of America actually decides to take action in Venezuela, guys. It doesn't. They have no ability to control it. So what will have to happen is other people that are basically aligned with Venezuela's government would probably have to step in, and that will then start to kind of make things very interesting because, again, their closest aligned, countries specifically are some of our biggest adversaries. So let's see where this goes. All right. But in the meantime, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. In the meantime, I'll catch you guys later.